Welcome to Mortified, the Friendship Quest, a podcast where two long-distance friends bounce media recommendations, all in hopes the other will like it. I'm Aaron.
And, I fear we've overcommitted to a bit.
And this week, we ritually cleanse the video game industry with a Mountain Dew-themed smorgasbord. Before we suffer for the sins of Jeff Keighley, remember you can help us on Mortified the Legitimacy Quest by subscribing to us on YouTube, iTunes, or Spotify, or signing up or following us on Tumblr at MortifiedPod. Leyla?
Aaron?
Hey, why are we doing this?
Hey, so you made a one-off comment, and both of us commit to a bit real hard.
Yeah, basically we were playing Elden Ring a couple days ago, and one of the, poison breath attacks, I was like, oh yeah, it looks like Mountain Dew or something stupid. I can't remember. It wasn't that funny, clearly, because neither of us remember it. But we were like, this thing we're reading isn't really working for us. We might have to pivot because we'd rather not talk about something we didn't like. And also I've been on vacation the last couple of days, so this is just kind of a last minute thing. So instead of talking about something we don't like, we're going to talk about something we do like, which is video games. This is the time of the year where a lot of video game publishers and companies release their trailers for what's going to come out at the end of the year, and teasing for the couple of years beyond. RIPTA to the Electronic Entertainment Expo. But notably, as Mr. Keighley himself said at the beginning of this year's Summer Game Fest, there's been a lot of layoffs in the industry. A lot of people have been suffering, and there's nothing that we personally can do about that. But we thought we would take our stupid comment and perhaps try to turn it into... People who have been listening for a long time know that I used to be Catholic, and I believe in suffering and offering that suffering up to a greater good. And I was listening to this song by Penelope Scott. My wife was listening to this song and, was playing it to me, and we were talking about it. And I was like, what is a sin eater? And so the concept of a sin eater, I looked up on Wikipedia, is basically a shared concept among cultures. Mostly from the British Isles, like Wales, Scotland, Ireland, parts of Britain, but also similar concepts show up in Aztec mythology. But basically, it's somebody who is designated to eat a specific meal in order to ritually consume the sins of somebody who has passed away. And this is not really like that at all, but it is kind of in the spirit of that, in that we are going to consume a gamer food in order to hopefully bring the games industry back to life.
Yeah, I mean, we're technically sin-eating for E3 if a deceased thing has to be part of this,
I like that. I like that framing. This is us truly pouring 5 to 6 out for E3.
Yeah. Also, at the top of the show, I need to... Hey, I work in the games industry. I have for the last couple of years. So if you're looking for a nuanced critique of anything, that's not what you're going to find here. This is a positive show where we talk about things we're excited about.
This podcast does not pay Layla's rent.
No, it doesn't. So which honestly, everything we're going to talk about today, I am genuinely excited for. But even if we were going to tear into anything, it would not be a game. And as we discovered in the Ants and Bugs Life episode, that's just not the ethos of this podcast anyway.
It's not fun.
So, what you're going to come here for is good times and goose and gags and us talk about things we like. And so if you just need some noise in the background, this is the episode for you. If you want a nuanced thoughts on a piece of media, maybe skip this one.
This is also going to be audio poison because what meal... Leyla, what meal are we eating in the spirit of the month of gamers?
Okay, so... We have a Mountain Dew flight on our outline. Some of the dews have been redacted, so I don't actually know Aaron's complete lineup, and he only knows most of mine. And then we have also prepared a savory thing that is also Mountain Dew themed. So Aaron has prepared pancakes with a apparently failed Mountain Dew syrup, and I have prepared a grilled cheese. I will talk about the thought. I really am trying to give the concept of a Mountain Dew grilled cheese a shot, so I will talk about the creation of it once we get to it. And then as a palate cleanser, Toulouse, I swear to God, as a palate cleanser, I have brought a literal charcuterie board. Not Mountain Dew themed, I just have a charcuterie board, because this is a lot of sugar for both of us. We are in our 30s, and also, like, I have a clinical condition where I don't eat a lot of sugar, and then Aaron is just like a normal, health-minded man in his 30s. So.
My degree is in public health, and I know that this is just bad for me. And I feel afraid. I'm sweating. You know how Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane sweated blood?
No,
I'm
I
about
don't.
to be okay. Our Christian listeners will know how Jesus sweated blood.
Yeah,
I'm about
the
to
Greens and Marty. This is for you.
Right. I'm about to be sweating green here in a second.
Literally. Where do we begin? I think just classic, right?
Yep. So I've done a little bit of a twist on the classic. I'm drinking Mountain Dew Standard, but I've also purchased at 3 p.m. from the local Schnucks a peach margarita mix. So I put the classic also in my my pancakes, so that's where I'm getting my true full body flavor.
That's where you're getting your okay.
But this is my alcoholic drink.
I have classic parentheses plain, right? Just for the science of the experiment.
Right.
And then I did also make a Dew Mule, where I replaced the lime in a Moscow Mule with Mountain Dew.
Oh my god, that kind of sounds good. All right, let's do it.
I'm gonna find out after I do classic, so let's see.
Let's do our taste.
It's less intense than I remember it.
Yeah, that's good. You know, I think mine's watered down a little bit by the ice and the margarita mix, but this is pretty good, actually. It's not nearly as intense as I feared.
Well, I remember drinking Mountain Dew when I was in college, for whatever reason, right? Somebody handed me a bottle, or,
right.
You know, how do people drink sodas? And I remember not liking it because it was just, like, too intense. But either they changed the formula, or, I don't know, maybe I'm just... taste buds, you know, they change over time or whatever, but this is not nearly as intense as I remember it. Let's do the Mule. It's fine. I'm gonna keep drinking it because there's vodka in it.
Right.
I feel like I need that for this.
I am chewing on my pancakes currently. There is like a hint of lime, but otherwise they're just like pretty fine pancakes.
Okay, can I talk you through the creation of this grilled cheese?
Yes, please do.
Okay. So, there was a recipe that floated around on TikTok for a Mountain Dew grilled cheese. And I believe the recipe was... I like, literally, Mountain Dew took this bitch off their website. That is how poison this was to the brand.
Oh my god.
Because I tried to find it, and I simply could not. But I could find the original TikTok where she made the grilled cheese. And it's like you do a Dew-duction, if you will, and then you mix that with cream cheese, and then I think the other cheese is cheddar. So what you have is like lime and cream cheese and cheddar. I really wanted to give this thing a fighting chance. So I thought, well, what cheese goes good with fruit? So, Aaron, I'm sending you a picture right now of my Dew-duction and a hunk of brie that I mixed into it. Please look at the color of the Mountain Dew-duction. If
Oh my god! It's like neon yellow!
Yeah,
What the fuck?
But what came of it is honestly the best looking grilled cheese I've ever made.
Okay, I'm looking at a regular grilled cheese. Can we get a look at the inside?
The inside is interesting because what the Dew-duction brie mix ended up looking like was actually exactly the shade of potato bread that I'm using. So it just kind of looked like my potato bread got gooey.
Okay, yeah, you know, I found that once you heat up the Mountain Dew, it really does, like, the dye does not get in there. Now, if we had used something like a Code Red or one of our various blue flavors, that might not have been the case. But yeah. I mean, it just looks like a slightly more green. It's not even that green. If I didn't know there's Mountain Dew in there, I wouldn't have noticed at all. It looks good. It looks like a good grilled cheese.
Well,
Leyla's looking pensive, perhaps
here
not regretful, but wistful is the expression on their face.
It doesn't know what it wants to be.
Honestly, so I get that. I really truly get that Mountain Dew grilled cheese. Sometimes you are just trying to straddle both worlds, trying to be an energizing beverage and also a hearty meal, and you can't quite fit both roles.
And if I was cooking this in Breath of the Wild, it would not be a dubious food.
Right.
But it also wouldn't be that much better than the sum of its parts to give me like 3 or 4 hearts.
Right. It's one of those meals where like you get like a 10-second one star bonus or whatever. Like, okay, like it kind of works, but it's not truly
it's the sugar
there.
high from the dew that would do it.
Right. 100%. Yeah.
But I will say, changing the cheeses to Brie and Munster was absolutely the right choice.
Yeah, no, I think the cream cheese would have made it so sloppy that like it would just be inedible. So I'm very glad you've made this choice. I was so worried for you. I was like,
so you really were. Every time I brought it up, you were like, Leyla, you don't have to do this.
Yeah,
I was like, well, I've said it out loud.
Like,
so
I truly, like, if I had to eat that original, I saw that TikTok too. If I had to eat the original, I think I would have like genuinely thrown up because it looked so gross.
Yeah, remind me next time I pour a dew to not pour that much in my cup.
Yes.
Okay, do you want to talk about Star Wars Outlaws is the first thing on our list?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is like an open world Ubisoft game. I'm personally like kind of a big fan of Ubisoft games. I really like I've played like basically every Far Cry since 3. I really most Assassin's Creeds I played. Like I know that Ubisoft gets a hard time for like going to a location, doing like doing the tower thing, right? Unlocking part of the map and then doing a bunch of objectives. But I really like that like methodical, like going through and clearing out the map.
I was gonna say, you and I are systems thinkers. We love that shit.
Yeah, no, it's really fun just to see like that completion and how like that kind of unlocks new abilities. I really like their whole RPG ethos of like, yeah, like kind of building on one thing after another, like things unlocking over time. So yeah, I'm really excited for Outlaws. I mean, I think probably the thing that stood out most on the internet was the slutty droid. Unfortunately, we didn't get a whole lot of him in this latest trailer, but yeah, I mean, like, it's exciting to see, a Star Wars game that is going like, it seems like minimal Jedi, like the Andor route, and just like kind of making you like a rebel smuggler. Yeah, what were your thoughts on the latest gameplay trailer?
Can I give you an update from the inside of my mouth first?
Oh yeah, please. Live on the ground.
So for some reason, whatever portion of dew I just put in my mouth has made the tomatoes I just ate spicy.
Oh my god! How does that work chemically?
I don't know. But I put a little cherry tomato in my mouth and it's spicy.
Something
anyway.
Like the carbonation or the dye reacted and the tomatoes were like, no, fuck you. You are not putting us through this.
There is a variable, which is I did have a couple of hot Cheetos like while I was making the grilled cheese.
Oh,
so maybe there's some
cross-contamination.
I'm willing to, but honestly, that should not still be in my mouth. Anyway, Outlaws. I agree with everything you said. I love a good systemic map clear. I'm playing Elder Scrolls Online right now. It's a fun fact. I've banned myself from playing MMOs for about 20 years because I got a little addicted when I was a kid, and I would spend like all of my allowance money, like everything, on Mabinagi and Fliff. Imagine my surprise when one of my favorite coworkers from my old company worked on Mabi, and he was like, "Hey, I was on that." I was like, "Oh, you ate my childhood." But so now I'm playing Elder Scrolls Online. And it's very systemic map clear. It's very, you're in a zone, you have main quests, you have side quests, you have a certain amount of things on the map you're going to want to find. And I'm like, I'm locked in. I'm in it to win it. And that's how I felt about Odyssey, too. And I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which we'll get to Shadows later. So I'm super excited for that type of gameplay. I love a good systemic map clear. I love the protagonist. She's sassy and fun. Mm-hmm. I love that she just, like, looks like a person. Did you see the woke chin shit?
Yeah, I mean, gamers are really up to some old tricks, but new stupid ways of phrasing it.
Can I be so serious and for real? That's the funniest thing I'd read all week. I think about it constantly now. Every time I'm drawing, I'm like, tee-hee, woke chin. Like, anyway, but I love the slutty droid. I'm sure I will see a lot of fan art of him in the circles that I float around. Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything you said +1, plus some erratic tangents because my brain is already dew-pilled.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited to see what our next flight is. But yeah, just to cap off Outlaws, It looks interesting. I like the way that they're still kind of doing that Assassin's Creed. Like, there's a bit of stealth going on. There are systems at play, right? There's going to be like alarm systems. There's going to be factions that you can curry favor with. I'm really excited for that. I really hope we see some implementation of the factions, because I think that's a really good opportunity to be like, oh, I'm working with the Hutts. I'm working with the Pikes. And I also like No Man's Sky a lot. So I'm interested to see like what that like. It doesn't look like it's going to be 100% focused on space combat, but I am interested to see how they implement that going forward.
Yeah, same. For our next bullet, can we actually skip bullet 2 and go straight to shadows? I feel like it's thematically more appropriate. We'll probably have more to say about the second bullet.
Yeah. Do we want to start with our code red, though?
Yeah, I guess. Oh, here's how scientific I'm being. So I only have the one glass.
Right.
Because I don't want to do 6 cups worth of dishes.
Yeah, you're smarter than me.
I am going to wipe out my glass so that there's no cross-contamination.
Very smart. Yeah, we're definitely a methods-focused podcast here at Mortified. We really respect scientific accuracy, so we're bringing you only the most exact Dew science here. Wow, you got a whole 2-liter of that.
Yeah, that's all I could find. It was either a 2-liter or a case of cans.
Yeah, no, see, I saw that you did that, and I was like, I'm not doing that. Actually, I did that for one. My last one, my secret one that you don't have. But
I don't know what I'm gonna do with 2 6-packs and 2 liters of Dew.
Always opportunity for more grilled cheeses, so.
Oh, yeah, Jesus Christ. All right, Jesus Christ, if you will. Okay, cheers, King.
All right, let's take a sip. Ooh, aggressive.
That's what I thought Dew tasted like.
Yeah.
That tastes, you know what that tastes like? Red.
Yes, it tastes like the color red. I am getting that cherry, like a bouquet of cherry, but like it comes in like, yeah, like it comes. It's like an aggressive cherry. Like if a cherry came up to you at a party and like punched you in the mouth,
decked you, yeah.
Sierra, my wife, can smell a thing that I cannot do 90% of the time. And when she smelled this, she was like, oh, that's just Red 50, the dye. And I was like, yeah, I believe that 100%.
Does your wife have superpowers?
I think she does.
Can I give you another update from the inside of my mouth?
Mm-hmm.
The Dew Mule has begun tasting like blueberries.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
You didn't put blueberries in it.
I did not. I haven't even touched the ones on my plate.
We are doing very unethical science.
Assassin's Creed Shadows looks like it fucks supremely. So I tried playing Assassin's Creed 1 and 2, but honestly they just made me motion sick, which I'm just very easy to make motion sick, so it's not saying anything about those games, really. Mm-hmm. But then I played Odyssey, because Cassandra's hot. One of my friends was a producer on Assassin's Creed Shadows. Told me that the only reason they played Alexios was because they wanted Cassandra to beat them up.
Right.
That is the most valid shit I've ever heard in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But
accurate.
Like we talked about earlier, I love the map clearing. I love whatever. I love the, like... It's more... I think that one's more, like, typical action RPG. Like, I don't remember the stealth mechanics standing out to me too much for that one.
No.
But
I recently replayed Odyssey, and yeah, there are stealth mechanics, but the game really does want you to engage in combat.
Oh my god, Shadow's gameplay. You can go in that fucking pond with that little bamboo tube and kill bitches from the water. You can spider climb on the ceiling. Mm-hmm. You could be in the grass. I have not been this excited about stealth gameplay since Dishonored.
Yeah, one of my like big frustrations with the Assassin's Creed series is that it doesn't feel like stealth is something you can do without, engaging in a very specific set of mechanics. And then I'm so excited that they've opened up the possibilities and verbs you can do to like sneakily show up and fight people. Like they're stabbing people through doors, which you can do in other games, but like, doing that and then like turning off the light so that there's some sort of shadow effect that obscures you. That's really exciting and interesting. So I'm very thrilled to see. Also, Yasuke with the Kanabo, so sick. He looks so cool. I'm very, very excited with that.
He's also hot.
I mean, yeah. What do you want?
So,
yeah.
What do you want from me? This is just what I show up for. I show up for the hotties.
Absolutely.
What next?
Let's do Major Melon, because I think we both have Major Melon.
We do both have Major Melon. So Major Melon, I believe, is a Walmart exclusive flavor.
I got this at Schnucks, so...
So maybe not. So maybe Frostbite's the Walmart exclusive.
Actually, no, I got this at a gas station outside of Springfield, so maybe not, but still. Yeah, it's...
You could tell me anything. Schnucks sounds made up as it is.
It's a Midwestern grocery store that is a little bit made up. But yeah.
Kind of like Wawa. What the, fuck's a Wawa? All right, here we go.
All right, let's take a shot. I don't know about this one. Ooh, I'm getting like the Jolly Rancher flavor there at the end.
It tastes like Jolly Rancher smell. Do you know what I mean?
Listen, I don't know what Jolly Rancher smells like, but I do know what you're saying.
It tastes like drinking perfume.
Yeah. It's It does have like an after effect that comes on in. Like at first it's like cool, it's like tricking you into a false sense of security, and then it is just getting you. I'm
gonna put pepper in my mouth.
Yeah, that'll be good, I'm sure.
My palate cleanser strategy is failing.
Yeah, I'll say so. The face you made did look like you stubbed your toe very hard, and you're trying not to cry.
So I have also, as an emergency measure, Wegmans Just Tea, unsweetened green tea.
Might be the time to deploy that.
Mm-hmm. I do not like melon flavors, so I don't know why I thought that was gonna go well. Actually, I'll tell you, it's because it's pink, and I want all pink things to taste good.
Yeah. My next flavor will be interesting, but like I have noticed that there's like a weirdly military theme going on with Mountain Dew. We've got Code Red, we've got Major Melon, and my next one is about like liberty.
Interesting.
I don't know why. Yeah, this soda brand is so militant, but
Oh, so there's a flavor we couldn't get. There is a Maui something. There's a Dollar General exclusive flavor that the nearest one to me was in Tennessee.
Wow. Okay. Very rare. When we'll have to go to Tennessee sometime, we'll hit that up.
Honestly, I think you and I would have a great time on a little Mortified trip. But yeah, it's fucking someday. Our lives are the hell. Our next thing, do we want to do building relationships or do we want to do Outer Sloth?
I think we can tackle them both at the same time. So Inner Sloth is the studio that made famously Among Us, right?
Sus.
And basically they announced that they're doing the Outer Sloth initiative, which is, as far as I can understand, just like helping to fund new indie games. Let me read from their website. There's no secret the games industry has been through a lot of turmoil. Sharing our success and seeing more indie games become sustainable is incredibly important to the team, which is why we made Outer Sloth, our indie game fund. And they've already started funding new games, Battlesuit Aces, Project Dosa, which is really fun, from the creators of Thirsty Suitors. Yeah, like there's just like 8 new games that they've already started funding. Also, the folks who made Venba are going to get funded. Oh, and Strange Scaffold, which made El Paso Elsewhere. So like already working with some like really top-notch studios. And like, this isn't a game, but it's just like so nice to be like, oh yeah, the folks who like randomly had their whole shit blow up back in 2020, like they're starting to give back, and they're like, they're taking their success and giving it back to the industry. That's so cool. That's my fucking dream, is to have a product make it so big that you can like live comfortably, pay your team comfortably, and then give back. Yeah, absolutely. So just shout outs to the Inner Sloth for doing this. This is such a cool thing. What do you remember about building relationships? Now that I think back on it, it's giving the same vibe as Bug Snacks. It does feel like Bug Snacks. Developed by Tan Ant Games. Basically, you play as a house. You're sort of like Katamari Damacying your way around like a 3D world. But like you are basically just trying to date other buildings. So I'm looking through their Steam page now. They're talking about meeting the Bachelor X pads. There's talking about like talking to a friendly apartment. It seems like be a good little building and catch each type of fish for me. So I don't know exactly what the verbs are here. Tags are exploration, fishing, comedy, single player, family friendly, walking simulator, which is kind of hitting all of my. I love fishing and I love walking simulators. But like, yeah, basically you're just trying to date other buildings, which is an insane and incredible pitch. Realistic building movement. Collect items.
I guess.
Collect items around the island to unlock skills that let you jump and dash exactly like a building, and then it's just a house falling off of a cliff.
I thought this was so charming. I'm so excited for all the house puns. I'm excited to see what the verbs are. It just looks like a good time. I hope it's like 6 or 8 hours long. That I could just like kill it in a weekend.
Right. Oh, I'm so excited.
And then think about it for 3 weeks.
Yeah, this seems really fun. Do you identify more as a bottom floor or a rooftop? And the responses are bottom floor, haha. Mostly a rooftop, I'd say, and depends on the mood. So, I mean, this is gay people. You're gonna love this shit. This seems exactly right for a certain demographic of bisexual that I am friends with. So
yeah, you've pulled a lot of us. It's quite odd.
It's weird, actually. But shout outs to all my queer friends this Pride.
Thanks.
Listen, I'm kind of doing a hate crime by making you use your month for this. I feel bad. I apologize to the queer community for dragging Leyla into this. But they, we need to make sure that Mountain Dew tastes the same to gay people and straight people. And, and unfortunately...
And apparently, we're learning that it makes tomatoes spiky.
So this is honestly breaking barriers in the field today. Shall we do our blue drink?
Fuck. Okay, so what I have is Mountain Dew Frostbite. I usually look at the shark.
Okay, yeah, there is just like an evil shark bursting through the Antarctic ice, which is something.
Naturally and artificially flavored Dew.
I'm drinking a different blue flavor. It is Mountain Dew Liberty Chill.
Aaron, that color is unreal.
Leyla, it looks like Windex.
So does this, but that blue is too. Do you know what it looks like? You know those bird toys that like dip into a liquid? It looks like the liquid in the toy.
Yeah, it looks like the dish soap that you'd make your bird drink out of.
It does look exactly like Dawn. This is Frostbite's a little lighter.
Yes, I appreciate that. The bottle said that there's like 50 different flavors in here, which I think is a fucking lie. I hope it's a lie.
I just caught a whiff. We gotta just drink.
Yeah, right. Bombs up.
Are you tasting 50 flavors? Oh, man.
It's like if you left like a fruit by the foot out for 8 to 12 months and then like juiced it, like you just juiced all the moisture it had accumulated. Because it is tacky in a way that I don't know how fluid acquires that quality. How is yours? How is your... Leyla looks like they're gonna throw up. Oh! And they're gone. In space.
No, it's you and your tacky fluids.
Yeah, I'm just gonna clip that for my future children to listen to. You and your tacky fluids. Yeah, that'll be great for my kids to hear.
Oh my god. Oh, I just did a full spit take. Anyway, I wanted a second taste of that because I'm so confused by it. I still don't know what I tasted.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not natural.
No. I wouldn't even call it... it's just... it tastes like colors, but I don't know what color.
It's not quite like... When you see this kind of shade of blue, you think like a wild berry or like a blueberry, right? But it's not that. It's really not that.
It wants to be berry. I think mine wants to be berry, but it's not.
Oh, God, I'm getting some of the combination now. It does taste a little bit like American military intervention, right? Like overpowering, just like really in your face, trying to do good, but ultimately very evil. Yeah, okay, Layla's holding up their nail polish, and it is the exact same shade as the Mountain Dew they've just had.
That's not very good.
Oh,
yeah,
my
mine
Christ.
tastes like, I don't know, maybe it is a little colonialism flavored, you know? There's something about it.
We are now on,
Avowed, yeah?
Avowed, yeah. So this is a new Obsidian game, right?
Mm-hmm. Obsidian of, oh my god, are they pillars?
Yes,
They're
Pillars of
Pillars of
Eternity
Eternity.
and Fallout New Vegas, pretty famously. Yeah, it's like a brand new fantasy world. I think they've been teasing it for a while now. But I'm
I
really,
thought it had something to do with pillars.
it's set in the Pillars world, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, looking through it, like it does look like pretty standard fantasy, but like it's very colorful. There's a lot of like weird kobold stuff. They always, the Pillars of Eternity world has a really interesting magic system. And like being able to play something that is more in that like Elder Scrolls, basically Elder Scrolls style, right? Of like an action RPG where you're like on the ground, doing that first person camera, as opposed to like the tactical RPG isometric camera that Pillars would use. I'm very interested to see how that goes. Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for something. The fact of the matter is, unfortunately, nothing's dethroned Skyrim. I mean, obviously, there have been interesting fantasy games since, but this is like the first, big opportunity that I felt that like, okay, something can have a chance to kind of fill that void and be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is the first person fantasy game that folks could really, sink their teeth into.
Yeah, whatchamacallit, I love Pillars. I like Pillars 2 better than Pillars 1. It just sang to me more.
Mm-hmm.
Obsidian, I do have some beef with because they would not let me kiss my husband, whose name I'm blanking on, but he's like the blonde male companion that you have the entire time the human.
Mm-hmm.
Love that man. Won't let me make out with him. Obsidian, why? But no, I'm super jazzed. I agree that like I'll be interested to see what the response is to like this as a first person action fantasy RPG. I'm also curious about how Obsidian is handling the change from isometric to first person, because I watched a very, very good talk from the cinematics director of Larian about how the artists... Well, it was about their cinematics pipeline, but he did talk a little bit about how the artists had to like get adjusted to the fact that ceilings exist now and they're a thing.
Oh,
and
no,
also like...
yeah.
And also... props can be viewed in 360, so you can't just have like a blank side of an asset, Right. So I'm curious as to how they're handling that. And if you're game dev, the talk by, oh my god, Jason Latino is his name, I think. It's on free up on the GDC YouTube. Super cool. As a person who works in game cinematics, like that was very, very cool. And he's also just seems like a very nice person. But, yeah, no, I'm jazzed for it. I miss the Pillars world. I would love to revisit it, but because I played Pillars before I was medicated for ADHD, and so I don't think I absorbed a lot of the lore because it is a lot of reading.
Yes, yeah. Obsidian's RPGs are like that. I played Tyranny, which I believe is also by them, and it was, a great game. It is a lot of reading, but, frankly, I like having a lot of reading in my games. But yeah, I can understand why that'd be a barrier. Absolutely.
Nerd.
But yeah, apparently slated to come out this year. I will look out for that in November. But yeah, really excited for Avowed. Do we want to talk about Dragon Age?
Do we want to do our next Dew?
Okay, yes. So I think you have
if
two
you need
more, right?
recovery time.
No, I'm good. I blew my nose and it was fine.
Okay.
A normal color came out. So my last Dew, because I couldn't get the fun color flavors you got, I got something special. So I mentioned Schnucks earlier. They have something called Mountain Summit, which is just their flavor of Mountain Dew. And I'm hoping, because it's like an off-brand, I'm hoping that it's going to be a little bit more interesting than our boilerplate Mountain Dew. So that's what I'm working with. What do you got?
So I will go next with Sweet Lightning, which is
Christ.
It is the KFC exclusive flavor.
Oh my god, no. No one has heard KFC exclusive and went, oh, this will be reasonable.
I will say I did also get 3 tenders today while I was at the drive-thru, and they were good tenders.
Okay, nice. Shout-outs. Listen, I think KFC does very good chicken. What I don't think they do is very good soft drinks, as we're about to find out. What can I see the color? Can I see the color profile on this?
It's piss.
It looks like whiskey. Yeah, I was gonna say whiskey, but it is a little bit like dehydrated urine.
It's piss-esque.
Yeah, mine's just like a pretty standard green. So we'll see.
Yeah, standard is a great quote. Okay. That one I could finish.
Yeah. Okay.
That's just nice.
Okay. Yeah. I think this is an all right way for me to end my flight. I think it's like trying a little bit too hard to be Mountain Dew, but it's pretty close. This off-brand stuff.
That's good. Is it close good or like close in a good better direction? And is it an improvement on the Dew?
You know how like if you are trying to order a Coke and the restaurant's like, oh, we only have Pepsi, and you're like, fine, I'll take Pepsi, and then you drink the Pepsi and you're like, man, this really isn't Coke. It's kind of like that, but it's like, it's fine. It's completely fine. Okay. So shout outs to Mountain Summit.
I'm going to finish my flight with the one, the only, the champion, the Baja Blast.
Oh, this looks so gross. Leyla is drinking a sea green mix with the Colonel's face on it. He is grinning up at me, and Leyla is holding their mouth.
Leyla was trying to not do another spit take in the direction of their expensive keyboard. Is what was happening.
Yes, that's important.
Someone keeps doing funny commentary, and I did spit all over. I'll have to go vacuum after this. I spit all over the carpet.
Oh, I'm sorry about your carpet. Yeah, taking a really measured sip there, and
I don't know what it's trying to be.
Interesting.
It's a little confused. I can't even identify the smell. Like, it's just vaguely tropical. I will also say, the color I would describe as pool water.
Yes, no, definitely. It looks like that chlorine, like you've just added chlorine to your public swimming pool, and it's ready to swim for the summer.
So let's talk about our next game, and then after our next game, I think we should rank.
Okay, yeah, so let's talk about Dragon Age then. Leyla, you famously are a big Dragon Age fan.
I'm trying to keep that as less famous as I humanly can, but it does leak out. So I love Dragon Age. Dragon Age saved my life. I've said it before. I will say it again. And I mean that very literally. So I am imprinted on that franchise to the chagrin of me and possibly the devs. So imagine my surprise when you know what it's close to, but I guess not close. The moment in E3 when the lights went down and we heard the da-da-da-da-da for the first time in however many years, and like that was the KH3 announcement.
2019, yeah.
That's up here for listeners way above my head. No moment has touched that for me. Dragon Age Veilguard, I think, is the closest around forehead level. All right, I just want to... Lots to go. But when I heard Varric Tethras's dumbass little voice, I was like, oh shit, we're getting Veilguard news? Which we didn't even know, or at least I had missed that the title had changed from Dreadwolf to Veilguard. Listen, I understand that on the internet people have mixed feelings about the art direction, and my theory of the case is that because the Dragon Ages all look very different from installment to installment, because they go through acquisitions and engine changes and all that shit, I think everybody picks one Dragon Age to imprint on, and then if the other Dragon Ages don't look or feel like that Dragon Age, it feels like not Dragon Age to them. Mine is 2, so if it doesn't look or feel like 2, I'm like, this is funny. Veilguard is like, the visuals, I think the team made the right choice, because it feels like early WoW, and it feels like Kingdoms of Amalur, in the sense that, like, it looks like the updated version of those, like, early 2000s, like, purple-green RPG. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, that aesthetic?
Right. You know, similar to the way that Avowed is doing colors, it's also doing, like, these big, bright magic colors.
Yes! And I think in that it feels like those 2000s RPGs, I think that is so appropriate for the tone, where it's like kind of funny, kind of grimdark, it feels like an updated version of an old song, and like I love this visual direction. Also, the fucking gameplay trailer, they want me to be a rogue so bad and it's working, baby. My version of Thetis is about to be saved by a mage and 3 rogues in a row, and I'm not even sorry about it. So I'm very excited. I think I'm super jazzed. I rip Bianca, the crossbow, an icon, a legend, F's in the chat. I gasped audibly when that happened. I was like, oh, Bianca, no! I don't know. I'm just like, I am so burnt out on franchises that I was not expecting to be excited for the 4th installment of anything.
Right.
And let alone, like, I kind of bounced off of Inquisition just like, it wasn't my thing gameplay-wise as much as the other ones were. Because open world is not usually my thing. But, goddamn! I'm hype! I'm ready!
Yeah, you know, I'm clearly not as big of a Dragon Age fan as you, but everything I saw from that looked good. You know, I thought the art direction looked fun and interesting. You know, as far as like the gameplay wheel, it does look like it's going to the more like Mass Effect, like, you know, choose between 2 options or maybe like ask for more information.
So it's literally very Dragon Age 2. It looks like at least partially it'll be the like peaceful, funny aggro. Yeah. So we've seen that before.
I think that's a smart choice. You know, I think giving people something that they're like, okay, this can call back to that game that I played before and enjoyed. Yeah, and I mean, like, you know, unfortunately I didn't play Inquisition, but like, you know, I think that, you know, I'm a big BioWare fan. Like, I think everybody is really pulling for this game. Everybody loves BioWare and that studio, and they want them to succeed. So, like, you know, I just, you know, hats off to the Inquisition, or the Dreadwolf team, not Dreadwolf, Veilguard team. And, you know, I'm really rooting for you all. I think it's slated for the end of this year, right? 2024, roughly?
Fall 20...
Yeah.
I was not expecting it to be this year at all. Fall 2024. This game, I need to figure out when the date is, because it will eat me, just like Baldur's Gate ate me last year.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, we'll make sure that our calendars are aligned in that month. But, yeah, looking forward to Veilguard.
Yeah, oh my god. I'm so excited. Between Avowed and this, and we'll talk about some of the indie games that we saw in the showcases too in a minute. I am so excited that we finally feel like we've hit the ceiling on fidelity and are starting to explore, like, horizontally what kind of the balance of fidelity and style and aesthetic is. Because, like, Veilguard is very high fidelity in the sense that all the assets look really good, but it's not high fidelity in the sense that I can see all of Varric's pores.
Right.
Which is great. I love that. But, for example, I was watching a playthrough of Hellblade 2, which needs, I think, that really hyper-realistic treatment, because the actress's performance, who plays Senua, is so compelling. Mm-hmm. And, like, you want to see every little twitch and movement of her eyelid. And, like, shouts to that PCAP team, because that game looked incredible. But, you know, I'm so excited to, like, go back to, like, colors and like, I don't know, greens and purples and this, like, 2000s aesthetic. I think it's going to be great. I'm so excited for those 2 games, especially. So,
yeah.
Yeah, let's rank our dues.
Yeah, okay. Number 5 for me, that's easy. It's Mountain Dew Code Red. It hates me and I hate it.
Number 6 for me. I'll do 6 and 5 so that we can go at the same time. I think number 6 for me is the melon one. Major Melon and I just simply did not agree. It tasted like drinking perfume. Not a huge fan. I think number 5 for me is Frostbite. It again tasted like drinking perfume, but different perfume. So it felt like I was in that John Mulaney joke where I was like desperate for a beverage and then just drank a bottle of perfume.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So 4 for me is melon. Yeah, I do think that it is that Jolly Rancher, like, sickly sweet flavor creeping into the back of my throat that I really, really despise.
Yeah, 4 for me is Baja Blast. It just doesn't know. It's, like, inoffensive, but it doesn't know what it wants to be.
Yep,
No, sorry. Ooh, no, I changed my mind. It's Code Red, because Code Red also hates me. Number 3 is Baja Blast.
Number 3 for me is the other blue one, the Liberty one. It's at least interesting. It's memorable. But like memorable, like in the same way that like somebody putting a car bomb in my Chevy Malibu would be memorable.
Yeah, number 2 for me is Dew Classic, I think.
Yeah.
Inoffensive. Inoffensive.
Yep. My number 2 is the off-brand Mountain Summit from Schnucks. Yeah, it's completely fine. You don't. What's funny about Mountain Summit, Layla?
You
don't think that a legally distinct name is respectable?
Mountain Summit is just so fucking fun. Why Summit? Why not like Mountaintop?
Right.
I didn't call it Summit.
So Mountain Dew, right? That's like evoking like a certain freshness, right? Which is absolutely not what Mountain Dew, the brand, is going for. Which is why you have to go with Mountain Summit, which is like a little bit more extreme. It's fucked up.
For a brand that says on the back "refresh then recycle."
Sure.
I don't know what they think they're going for. My surprise number 1 is KFC's Sweet Lightning.
Shout outs to Sweet Lightning, you know? It looked a little bit more...
It's called.
Yeah, I mean, it look like piss, yes. But you know what? If it goes down well for you, I'm very, very happy. Mine is, of course, the classic flavor, but that's also tempered by the fact that I haven't been drinking it straight, which probably helped a lot. The margarita mix has really improved my enjoyment of this. So,
I will be finishing the Sweet Lightning with a bunch of vodka in it.
Yes,
as we play Elden Ring after this recording.
Oh my god, yeah. We're going to be so fucking loud and annoying.
Let's talk about our indie games from the Indie Showcase, because there were so many indie games. Holy shit.
Yeah, mine are not from the Indie Showcase. They're actually very mainstream, except for Flock. Flock is very cute, which is just like a bunch of birds. Basically, you're like a bird herder, and you're like going around and like kind of getting birds to follow you like a school of fish. I've had this on my wish list since last year, so I'm really excited to see that. That's coming out soon. That one looks really cute, but my 2 games that I also just wanted to talk about were Age of Mythology Retold, which is a RTS game coming out from Microsoft. And like, you know, that game probably had more impact on like my personal taste than like any other game until like Pokemon, because that was the first like strategy game I played back when Ensemble Studios, the people who made the Age of Empires series, was still a thing. But yeah, they're just remastering this game that I played when I was like 8 and like permanently like changed my brain chemistry. So I'm very excited to see how that comes out, even if it's like not going to make me feel like a kid anymore. I'm still excited to see what that ends up being. And then my last one is, of course, Astrobot. This is a continuation of Astrobot Rescue Mission, which came out for the PSVR and the launch like demo software for the PS5, Astro's Playroom. I'm not really a platformer guy, but Astrobot Rescue Mission was such a really phenomenal platformer. Just the way it used VR and like made you engage with both the headset and also like the mechanics of the game was just like really cool and fun. So I really love Astro, like as a character. He's such a cute little mascot guy. So very excited to see Astrobot come to the PS5. But yeah, those are my games.
So my games are from the Indie Showcase. Well, 2 of them are. So the first one is South of Midnight, which is that I believe it's based in like Louisiana. The moment I saw that stop motion ass catfish, I was in. I was bought in. I was sold. Aesthetically, it looks great. Looks like a lot of fun. I'm excited. The protagonist seems really charming. We also just read Ring Shout for our friend book club that you and I have. Mm-hmm. I'm really loving that kind of like Southern magical realism vibe right now. So super jazzed. Cairn is the next one. That's that French mountain climbing game. It looks like one of my favorite pieces of art of all time. There's just this like mountain climbing illustration that I have saved on Pinterest. I'm blanking on the artist. But I look at it for reference all the time because I love the way it feels. And like Karen just visually looks incredible. I'm also famously heartbroken right now because Team Cherry unfortunately had to delay Earthblade. And they are the team that did Celeste. So bitches love mountain climbing games. And then my last one is Inotria, the last song, which is the Spanish theater themed Souls-like.
Yeah, this looks cool.
I've been playing the demo.
Yeah, how's the demo?
Oh my god. Okay. I love... How do I put this? It took a little bit of getting used to because they flip the dodge and the use your item buttons. So I died a lot because I was drinking potions when I was supposed to be rolling.
Right.
But so, for people who like Souls-likes, Inotria, in the, like, scale of Souls-like, is very much more build management than some other titles, like, for example, Lies of P. So once you figure out how to do your loadouts, it fucks. It's really fun, and it's aesthetically really cool. So it's a lot more loadout management, but aesthetically it's incredible. The music is really good. The first boss that I got to fight was just fun. It's a smaller team, so it's not, like, as polished. And also it's, like, a demo, so obviously they have time to do stuff. So, like, for example, in the like, first boss area, I would accidentally get stuck on objects in the space, and I died a couple times that way. But super excited! I'm so excited for this. It's coming out in September. I love a Souls-like that... this is my prayer. Here's what I would like. For folks doing the Souls-like format, I am desperate for a team to come up with a tutorial that isn't just read tooltip and do something. So this is my prayer, is people who do Souls-likes, especially smaller teams that have a little bit more room to, like, maybe experiment or, like, have their restrictions force some innovation. A tutorial. That, especially because Inotria introduces a couple of mechanics that aren't in Souls-likes, like they have a couple of different button combinations. I would have really appreciated some more time to, like, get to know those, because I definitely felt like I was butting my head a little bit in the first area. But super excited for it. If you like Souls-likes, absolutely give Inotria a go.
Yeah. Like, I know that everybody wants to emulate FromSoft, but, like, maybe don't emulate their tutorialization strategy with love, FromSoft,
or therefore lack of.
Yes,
but I mean, the reason FromSoft can get away with that, just quickly, is because all of their games is the same. Like, all of the control schemes, from Dark Souls to Bloodborne, like, you know what you're getting into with a FromSoft game. You're like, all right, I'm here. I know my, like, muscle memory is here. Which is unfortunate for folks who maybe want to get into one and have to pick a spot to get into it. But it's fine for folks like us who are perverts who play these games constantly. But yeah, just that's my prayer, is tutorials.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that'll be it. This went way longer than we thought it was going to.
Yeah, we were like, oh, cute 30-minute show with a little gimmick. Nope, full hour.
Nope. Well, I'm glad that we had fun talking about games. I don't think we've got a marketing minute, but... I mean,
this is Jeff Keighley's marketing hour, if you think about it.
I mean, listen, we're just regurgitating game trailers, so, like, yeah, shout-outs. Yeah, Leyla, when we are not talking about games, which is almost never, where else can we be found on the internet?
You can find me at LEYLSCS on Blue Sky and Tumblr. Again, I'm just kind of putzing around on my long-term projects. Aaron, at one point or another, I might poke you to help me rename my webcomic because the object it's named after no longer exists in the story. Oops. Ruh-roh. Well, that's it for me. If you like stories about depressed 25-year-olds, keep an eye on me. What's up with you?
You can find me on Twitter at AaronSXL, Blue Sky at AAVoit, Tumblr at Monster Factory Fanfic, but my main site is aavoit.com, where I talk about games and writing. You can follow my YouTube channel at AAVoit, where I write about tabletop games and do essays on them. And our theme song is Obsolete by Keshco from the album Filmmaker's Reference Kit Volume 2. And you can find more of their music at keshco.bandcamp.com. Yeah, and I think that at the end of the day, all we can really say is gamers, keep doing the do. We'll see you all next time.
Go fuck yourself. Bye.